Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate beginner's guide to the new champion, Sion. This champion is amazing, guys. So I'm going to be explaining to you guys how his abilities work, how to combo his abilities, which is very important on this champion, by the way, how to use his abilities in general, tips and tricks, how to build him, and all of that. So there's timestamps in the description, and yeah, let's get into it. This champion is so simple. Like all of this, yeah, it looks hard, but it's incredibly simple. So first of all, Sion permanently gains 6 bonus health whenever he kills a unit, increased to 20 against large units. So let me just show you. When I'm taking jungle, for example, normal units will give me 6 stacks. You can see the stacks on the bottom, by the way. You see 108 stacks right there. So those each gave me 6 stacks. And this one gives me 20. And then yes, to answer your questions, it is pretty broken to take these rocks right here. They're gonna give you a hell amount of stacks. Like if you just see how many stacks it gives me, it's really a lot. Like farming these in the jungle is amazing, as you can see. So yeah, that's just so you know. So when you kill an enemy champion or anything, you get 20 stacks. When you kill a minion, you get 6 stacks. So it stacks indefinitely. So upon taking fatal damage, this is really important about Sion, by the way. Sion will reanimate himself, fearing those around him, while slowing their movement speed by 90%. After reanimating, you get 100% health. You attack super fast, but you lose a lot of HP. Because you're like, after you die, you are dead. You just revive really quickly so you can do some more damage, get some kills. His attacks do an additional 8% max health of the enemy. And yeah, let me just show you. I should stop talking. Let me just show you. So here I'm just dying to the turret. And all of your abilities are replaced with a death surge, which gives you movement speed. Let me just show you real quick. So here I'm dead. You'll revive, and you get bonus movement speed with this. And look, boom, 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 boom. You get 100% lifesteal whenever you attack an enemy during that. And like you become super buffed, basically. Like you become super duper buffed. You can get that one kill really quickly before you die. So that's how the passive works. Next up is the first ability. Sion charges a heavy blow for up to 1.75 seconds. Let me just show you how it works. Boom. And boom. You can cancel it early, but as you can see, it obviously does less when you cancel it early. Boom. The range is less. You can see, like, if I cancel it before the red parts even reach this guy, you can see I don't even hit him. If you wait for at least 0.75 seconds, you will knock up the enemy as well, like you can see. And then the longer you wait, the bigger the knock up and the bigger the damage. This ability has insane AD scaling. It scales up to 225% with AD. So if you go for like full lethality Sion for fun, like the maximum charge of this ability will do an absolute incredible amount of damage. Quick thing, if you're in a bush, the enemy doesn't see this. So they won't see it coming if you charge it out of a bush like this. About this ability, it's incredibly hard to randomly hit it like this. So like you kind of want to follow up this ability with some CC. Like, you know, you ult and then you follow it up. So that's just so you know. Like if, for example, your allied Varus used his ultimate on this dummy, then you instantly use your first ability and you'll be able to hit it afterwards. So I really recommend you to use this ability after some form of CC. Second ability, I'm gonna make it easy for you guys as well. You get a shield. Look, boom, you get a shield. And then after 3 seconds, you can deactivate the shield and do a lot of damage. You deal bonus damage equal to the enemy's maximum health. So it does quite a lot of damage. Like you can walk in the middle of the enemies and then boom, it does quite a lot of health. So just so you know. Something about this shield is the shield will automatically detonate after 6 seconds. But as I said, you can detonate it a bit earlier. But if you want, it can run out and then boom, it does the damage. That's what it does. Third ability, you fire a shockwave, which looks like this. Boom. And if you hit an enemy, it does damage. You can only hit one enemy at the same time. So it basically does damage. It slows the enemy. And it reduces their armor by 20%. So it's pretty big. Like before you take a fight, you reduce the armor, you slow them and all of that. And of course, when we get to the combos, the slow really helps you to hit the first ability. But yeah, we'll talk more about that during the combos. Something really funny, if you hit like anything else than a champion or dragon or something, you blow them away. Look at this. Boom. And you do damage to anything you hit in its path. Look at this. Boom. So you, like while you're farming in lane, you can use it to poke the enemy. Like boom, poke the enemy with a minion. You can hit it on them very easy. It's like Mundo's third ability, but much easier to hit. It's really, really easy to poke the enemy with your third ability just by hitting minions and, you know, poking them with it. Now let's talk about the ultimate. I actually want to go back home for the ultimate. You become unstoppable and you run towards something. It's essentially like Nunu's second ability. but it's much stronger. Like, look, you become unstoppable. Nothing at all can stop you. You keep running, and then when you charge it fully, you're gonna knock up the enemy for a really long time. You can see, oh, you knock them up, sorry, and after that you stun them. So tenacity will stop the duration of this, but that's just, you know, it's insane, because like you knock them up and stun them afterwards, which is insane. If you use it immediately, you can see the knock up is not very long. But the idea is that this is an amazing initiating ability. Like, you use your ultimate, you can see when the fire goes like that, you reach the maximum duration. This ability is obviously absolutely amazing for ganking. I mean, look at this. If I want to gank, like, the only way to dodge this is with flash. And it's really hard to dodge with a flash as well, because you're very wide. Like, you hit a very wide angle with this ability. Keep in mind, if you go into a wall, you stun yourself. So don't go into a wall. Just a quick tip for you guys. And yeah, that's how the ultimate works. It does an insane amount of damage as well. The ability order you want to upgrade is, first you want to do the first ability. Then you want to max the second ability. And then lastly, you want to max the third ability. So now let's talk about combos. You can use your flash with your third ability. Probably never going to use it, but you can. Next up, this is a very important combo. Like, if you're 1v1ing an enemy and you want to do as much damage with your first ability, you do third ability, second ability, and then first ability. And then you charge up your first ability, you use it, and then you do your second ability. If you do this fast, it looks like this. And then basic attack as well. The reason that this works is because your third ability slows the enemy by a lot for 2.5 seconds. So third ability, instant second ability, first ability. You hit this first ability and then second ability and basic attack. This is like a basic combo kind of. Next up, we have, if you kind of want to just quickly engage on an enemy and do some damage, you do second ability, you get close to the enemy, basic attack, first ability, you knock them up, another basic attack, second ability. This is like if you quickly want to trade in lane, because your second ability is going to be giving you some shielding. Now this combo is if the enemy is CC'd. Let's say this dummy gets rooted by Varus or something. I want to follow it up by my first ability, boom, second ability, basic attack, third ability. That's how you want to do it. Next combo is your ganking combo, or like your teamfight initiating combo. The way that it works is you use your third ability, your ultimate. Then, during your ultimate, you use your second ability. Wait for it. Now, then you hit the enemy while shielded. Instant first ability. You hit it, basic attack, third ability, and then your shield runs out. This is like your all-in combo, what I just showed you right there. This is your absolute all-in late game crazy combo. Some other important stuff to know, I guess, is like, just keep in mind your third ability slows the enemy. Really use this before your first ability every time, like whenever you can. Third ability, first ability, like even this is a basic combo that will work quite effectively unless the enemy has a lot of tenacity, because if they have a lot of tenacity, they will be able to run away from this. Something very important to keep in mind as well, even though the enemy is slowed, if you use this ability, they can actually run away, like to the top here, for example. The reason is because, of course, you know, if they run away to this way, they won't be able to, but they can dodge it upwards or downwards. Just so you know, very important, because like, don't you think it's easy at all to hit the fully charged first ability. As I told you, another important combo about Sion is this. Let me just put a dummy here. Let's say you get out of a bush. Let me just quickly look at my paper for this one. If you want to catch out an enemy, you do first ability. Yeah, first ability, you charge up your second ability, you catch them out, basic attack, third ability, and then your second ability as well. I don't recommend you to use your ultimate up close to an enemy, because like, this is such a waste. Such a waste, because the duration is just so little. You always want to initiate a fight from a long range with Sion, with your ultimate, by charging it up all the way, and then following up instantly with your first ability, and then just, I mean, look at that. That's just the way you want to initiate a fight with Sion. There's some other crazy combos, but those were the most important ones that I just showed you right now. Another tip, of course, is to get to last hit very well, or to take jungle camps. Just keep taking farm, because you permanently stack HP, and the later you get into the game, the tankier you get. So now let me show you the best build for Sion. Keep in mind, this build is subject to change. 1 second. This build is subject to change because Sion just came out while I'm making this video. One skip. Alright, so how do you build Sion? Full tank works, but I put Hole Breaker here because I was asking around with Mozilla and Stuart, who know a bit more about PC League than me. And they really think Hullbreaker is going to be insane on Sion. Sion is pretty good at pushing turrets, by the way. And if you get a Hullbreaker, it becomes much better, of course. And also, if you combine it with Demolish, it becomes even better. So you go for a Hullbreaker or Sunfire Aegis first. You go for Hullbreaker if you want to apply a lot of pressure in the early game. If your team doesn't want a team fight early game, so you can split push. If you want a team fight early game, you go for a Sunfire Aegis. And then after that, you can decide whether or not you want to get a Hullbreaker. So yeah, you either get a Hullbreaker or you don't. If you feel like you need it. It gives a lot of AD as well, which of course is great for Sion because of AD scaling. But after that, you want to go full tank. Sion is a tank. You get more HP because of your passive. So tanky items work very, very well on Sion. I don't really recommend you to go for stuff like Warmog because you already have enough HP. Go for resistances because, as I said, like you even have a Sunfire Aegis, which does give you max health. So after that, don't get any health item like Warmog or whatever. What is that other item called? Winter's Approach or Ishtali Seajar or something. Iceborne Gauntlet is amazing on Sion as well. It's really, really good to create this icy area as well. It's situational, but it's really good. Thornmail is amazing as your third item. You pretty much always want to get Thornmail as your third item. Like, unless the enemy has heavy AP. If they don't have heavy AP, you always get a Thornmail third item. And a fourth item, you look at their AP as well. If they have heavy AP, you go for Force of Nature or the Spirit Visage if your team has a lot of healing. Otherwise, you go for the Iceborne Gauntlet. Randuin's Omen is great as well because Randuin's Omen gives you that anti-crit and the attack speed reduction. Frozen Heart is really good as well because it gives a lot of ability haste, and if the enemy has a lot of attack speed heavy champions, Frozen Heart is absolutely amazing. For the boots, you want to go for armor boots. You don't want to go for Mercury Threads because your ultimate already makes you unstoppable. And then the Stone Plate Enchant to be even tankier. For the runes, you always go for Grasp of the Undying because you're playing Baron lane. If you play in the jungle, I suppose you could go for Aftershock, but Grasp of the Undying if you're in the Baron lane. Next up, you go for Triumph. Third one, you go for Conditioning. You can go for Second Wind if the enemy has a lot of poking, like Gragas or something, or Fiora or Camille. But I kind of recommend Conditioning because you get so much health in the late game, it makes you unbelievably tanky. And a fourth one, you go for Demolish because, as I said, you can split push super effectively. For your spells, you go for Ignite and Flash. So, yeah, that is it for the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a like, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video.